You know, Rob, there's been a lot of talk going around the world of comic book movies and things like that. Things Marty Scorsese would say, like it's not real cinema, and probably poor choice of words. We're all big fans of Marty Scorsese, but not the best choice of words, maybe.
Perhaps not.
Francis Ford Coppola, things like that. Even some actors. Ethan Hawke even at one point said, yeah, the comic book stuff, I don't really know. And then, of course, Ethan Hawke, Handsome Hawk, ends up playing the antagonist in Moon Knight. And he says he has had a terrific experience doing it, but he said something rather interesting about it. And he said this. He said, they're very, very actor friendly. Marvel is super actor friendly. They just might not be director friendly, which you and I have talked about many times before. Actually, this is the direct quote that he said about that. That group of people at Marvel is extremely actor friendly. They just might not be director friendly. And that could be what Scorsese and Coppola are talking about. But they love actors, Hawke said. I think Kevin Feige had a great thing happen with Robert Downey Jr., and he understood that Downey's passion was large in part to the success. When actors are excited by a part, our audiences get excited about watching them. I think that's an astute observation. I think that's always been true. Doesn't mean you should let actors do whatever they want to do. It's not their film. But I think it's true of anybody. When somebody's excited about the work they're doing, the best comes out. Now, he goes on to talk a lot about his co-star in the film, Oscar Isaac, and just saying, listen, what Oscar did in this show was bonkers. He just gushes about how good of a performance Oscar Isaac had, and it's true, he did. And he also kind of defends a little bit about what Scorsese was saying, because he goes on to talk about how, listen, this is what it says. It needs to be said. This is Ethan Hawke saying this. It needs to be somebody in the community saying, hey, everybody, this is not Fanny and Alexander, Hawke said, noting that he doesn't mind directors such as Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola being critical of Marvel movies. If you keep reviewing these movies that are basically made for 14-year-olds like they're Fanny and Alexander or Winter Light, then who the hell's going to make Winter's Light? And to a degree, now, again, while I still disagree with what Martin Scorsese said and how he was saying it, I get where Ethan Hawke is coming from, because sometimes in our excitement and our love of like comic book fare, whether it's, I think The Batman is the #2 best movie of the year. I love my comic book movies, all that kind of stuff. We can sometimes confuse that with the fact that, hey guys, I mean, this isn't, this isn't The Godfather.
What?
I know, right? This isn't, Goodfellas. This isn't, Lawrence of Arabia. Like this isn't, it's different, and they're great and they're enjoyable and we love them and we have great fun with them. And I wish Marty Scorsese had kind of said it like that instead at the time. It's like, hey guys, like these can be great fun and yay, they're making all kinds of money, but let's not pretend that these movies are on the same level as the truly great auteur, great all-time movies. They're different things. You've done a really good job, actually, Rob, in the past of kind of highlighting the differences between those. And I think that's been really good. So, but the thing that stood out to me the most, though, is, again, something that we've said a lot around here, is that for all the people who complain about studios shouldn't interfere with the director's work, I say, do you like Marvel movies? Yeah. There is no studio that interferes with what a director wants to do more than Marvel. Like none. And I think that's kind of what we saw Ethan Hawke getting at here. Anyway, you saw this article from Ethan Hawke and heard some of his statements. What stands out to you?
Well, I'm a staunch MCU fan, John. I mean, I've said, and I'll say it right now, I think Infinity War and Endgame are two of the finest examples of fantasy filmmaking of all time. Wildly entertaining. They passed the Godfather test, which is whenever I turn the Godfather on, I have to watch it. Whenever I turn Infinity War, Endgame on, I have to watch them. For talk about plot holes in Endgame and the quantum realm and Professor Hulk and the things I don't care. I love those movies. I could watch them till the cows come home. But here's the thing. We know that the MCU is produced more like a television show, where the people on a television show, the god on television shows are the creators and the showrunners, the executive producers. Directors come in, and they're not auteurs. They come in, they sometimes direct an episode or two. If they're good, they'll be asked back. But they have to adhere to what the show is. Like, unless you have like Ryan Johnson coming in and doing the Fly episode of Breaking Bad, they probably pitched it to him and said, do what you want, make it crazy. But the showrunners are in charge of the show, not the directors.
Right.
The directors have to give the showrunners what they want and what they need to continue on their ongoing storyline. That's what the MCU is. And I think Kevin Feige knows this. It was done that way by design. So when they bring on a James Gunn, they don't want to tell James Gunn what to do. They want James Gunn to bring the James Gunn of it all to what they're doing. But James Gunn also understands I am working within a structure that is this wide. We got 30.
I am
MCU
creating
movies.
but one piece of a larger puzzle.
100%. Exactly right. And they want James Gunn to bring his sensibility to
Right.
it. And he does, when Star-Lord's putting up his, ding, ding, ding. I mean,
That's all
that stuff,
James Gunn.
It's all James Gunn writing and directing, but James Gunn understands, because he's worked in the business for 30 years, 40
Right.
years, he gets it. So it doesn't surprise me. I think there's a lot of directors that might not quite understand that, especially less experienced directors, because we see now a lot of feature directors are jumping into television, and they kind of understand all that. And I think Ethan Hawke's probably exactly right, because he's used to doing feature films where you have auteurs. Even look at Black Phone.
God, he's so good in Black Phone.
Scott Derrickson and Robert Cargill, I mean, they work together. They're like a team. When Scott Derrickson makes Black Phone, it's his movie. You can tell he worked for Marvel. Then he goes back and he does a movie like Black Phone. Those are different kinds of directors, and I think that people need to understand that. And I think that is a valid way to make movies.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. Handsome Hawk is saying that Marvel is awesome towards actors. Maybe not as director friendly. I don't know. What do you take away from a statement on that? Whatever that is, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of today's video, Storyblocks. Guys, I have been an enthusiastic fan and user of Storyblocks for years. I go to them whenever I'm in need of content creation assets like royalty-free music, video clips, or templates for my creative projects, ranging anywhere from little editorial videos to my very own full-feature documentary. Storyblocks helps you bring your stories, videos, and projects to life without sacrifices due to time, budget, or access to resources. They have over 1 million different story assets ranging from stock videos, audio and music, an in-browser video editor, and they feature pre-designed templates, animations, and outros. Storyblocks uses an affordable subscription model, and their unlimited access plans offers, unlimited video and audio downloads rather than a costly pay-per-clip model. With Storyblocks, you'll be able to create more content and, more importantly, better content, all while using a subscription plan that fits your budget, utilizing unlimited downloads of demand-driven and diverse content. So if you're interested in upping your content creation game, head over to www.storyblocks.com/Campea and get started today. That's www.storyblocks.com/Campea.